you have to say because it won't help. It won't. Whatever good intentions you have to figure me out, shrink my brain into little bitty compartments. And I'm sure you have plenty of those. You guys always do. Even if you do charge $100 an hour or something, I'm telling you it's not going to work. And quite frankly, I don't feel like apologizing for that. Okay? This is Normalcy by Bobby Kinnison. My dad sent me here because he said that we have to find a way to get back a sense of normalcy into our lives. Whatever that means. I mean, to tell you the truth, our family was never really normal to begin with. It's not like I can look back before the incident or the tragedy, depending on who you are and how you want to say it, and really remember a time when our family felt normal. And it wasn't all Jasper's fault either. He wasn't the only reason our family was abnormal. Even if he was responsible for the incident, or the tragedy, or whatever you want to call it. Of course, the police, they just call it the murder. You know, I couldn't even say that word 2 weeks ago without throwing up. But I can say it now. Murder. That's what the police call it. But that's not exactly right, though. Not really. Tragedy. That's how the papers and the news shows refer to it. What a tragedy. Such a tragedy. Could this tragedy have been avoided? Learning from the great tragedy. So sad. So sad. So sad. They say. These newscasters with every hair in place, with carefully studied, serious expressions on their faces, while inside their hearts are racing. They love tragedies. Tragedies mean ratings. If they really cared about human beings, would they stick a microphone and a camera in my face and ask me how it feels to know that my older brother killed my mom? If they had any shred of humanity left inside of those tan plastic shells, would they ask a question like that? Can you tell me, would they? I'm sorry. I used to think that my parents were the best human beings on the face of the planet. I mean, we would argue. I would complain. They would occasionally yell at me, but it was all just a part of growing up, you know? They never treated me like I was their normal child. And they never treated Jasper like he was any different. Jasper was just my older brother growing up. That's all he's ever been. That's all he'll ever be, is my older brother. And his little sister. He showed me things. I mean, he was the one who taught me how to ride a bike, you know. He was my hero. I never even noticed anything was wrong until I was 12. We were out on the lawn, raking up a big pile of leaves to jump in, and everything was fine until Jasper came over to me, dropped his rake, and whispered in my ear, "Mom and Dad are trying to kill us." And I laughed. And of course, I laughed because he was joking. But then he grabbed my face. Not too hard, just hard enough to jump me. And he said, "I'm serious. I'm serious, Shauna. I know they're trying to kill us. It's not funny. They told me that they're trying to kill us, Shauna. It's not funny." Wait. Mom and Dad told you that they're trying to kill us? No! No, Mom and Dad would never admit to something like that. They told me, Shauna, they did. Can't you hear them? They're screaming it right now. They're everywhere. They're screaming it right now. Just listen to them, Shauna. Just listen. Can't you hear them? They're screaming it right now. Just listen. Just 5 minutes later, everything was fine. Jasper was fine. Mom and Dad were fine. It was all so normal. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was 13. But my parents, they didn't tell me until he was 14. When it was really starting to change it. When the voices got bad. I remember Jasper banging his head against the walls to get them to shut up. And my father having to tear him away before he really hurt himself. I remember the pain in my big brother's eyes. I remember the countless amounts of pills that were supposed to help. They were going to help him. They were going to fix him. They were going to make him better. And I remember my parents never once losing faith in the face of their son. And then 3 months ago, my father found my mother. I think he sensed something. He had taken me to the mall, and Mom stayed home with Jasper because he'd had a rough night. When we got home, stopped in the driveway, Dad got out of the car. I started to get out too, but then he stopped me. We went inside, and he found my mom in the kitchen, on the floor, dead. I got out of the car, but I didn't go inside. I heard my father in the house calling for Jasper, softly. He sounded so calm for a man who had just seen his wife's dead body, stabbed 7 times with blood everywhere. But he called out softly for Jasper because he didn't want to scare him. And he found him in the living room, at the coffee table, building a model airplane. Jasper looked up at my dad and said, "Hey, Dad, where's Shauna? I think it's going to be ready for a test flight soon." So normal. The next day, we went to the institution. I walked up to Jasper, and he threw his arms around me in a big hug. And he said 2 simple words. 1 unanswerable question. Where's Mom? Where is she, Shauna? Where's my mom? They keep telling me that I did something awful to my mom. Why would they say that? Why would they say that, Shauna? Where's my mom? Where is she? They keep telling me that I did something awful. Why would they say that? Where's my mom? Where is she, Shauna? And I tried. Believe me, I tried to keep the tears out of my eyes when I told him that he was going to be okay. Because I love him very much. Because I do. And you know what? My mom loves him too. I had no doubt in my mind that my mother forgives Jasper for killing her. Because people don't understand, not even now, that it wasn't Jasper. Not really. Not really. I love the person who killed my mother. I love explain to me